always, since I was a child, I always wanted to do sculpture. I was lucky. My work was chosen by Westminster. When they gave me the result and they said, yes, we gave you the work, I said, yippee! You know, I couldn't believe it. It's like a dream come true.
Is Bushra our artist?
I'm putting it here. Would that be possible? Here?
Yeah, I mean, for us, this area of grass is, to be honest, it's very rarely used by the public, so it's very difficult to access.
Yeah, it's a great site though, Bush. I mean, God, you're not going to get a more high-profile site than this, are you? It's just
right next to the Hilton as well.
Yeah,
see it out of all of those windows.
I was born in Lebanon, but I went to Ivory Coast in Africa, and then France, and then I came here, then I went to Kenya. A sculpture, for me, it has to have a beauty and a message, and I want people to hopefully feel that. I want to reach them through this.
Good morning, everybody. The next call is Liverpool Lime Street.
The sculpture is called it Dunamis because it has dynamism and it's also the force. They say Dunamis, that means the power from above. So Dunamis is the force, but humans and from nature. I'm enlarging the maquette, which is the original version of the sculpture, into 2 meters. As we cannot do it straight away into 8 meters, we have to do it in stages. Don't look at it. That's enough, no? What I'm doing, I'm working on the form of the elephant. And what symbolizes is the power of man to achieve excellence by working hard, relentlessly. And I have the elephant on top. It's because it's a kind of homage to the elephant for the traits that we have in common with the elephant that we tend, unfortunately, to forget, which is family ties, solidarity, empathy, and cooperation. You know, after you do the armature, which is like the skeleton, and the clay is kind of like the muscle, you know. And according to the movement, you manipulate the clay according to the movement. And you don't have to forget the form. The form is very, very important. And also the way you work. You cut into the clay. You cut into the clay because shadow, the light hitting the surface is very, very important. That's what my tutor, Stanislav Frankel, taught me. That you have to be very, very conscious about the form and how the light also play on the form. You do it instinctively. I don't know. For me, I do things instinctively. I feel it within. You can see the form will tell you, I'm right, I'm wrong. I don't know how to explain it really. But very physical. And it's beautiful. I don't know. I tend to lose myself when I work. The time stops. piece was inspired by a visit to Stade in Switzerland in a hotel, and I've noticed that 5 o'clock tea time, men will parade like that, you know, with their cigars, and to try to find who is going to be the catch for the night. So it put me off a bit, and it gave me this idea of doing the sculpture, and I took a bit of this mythology, you know, Basilius. So I did it really very rough and very strong, and it shows the power, man power, and the arrogancy, and full of himself. I put his genitals here and here, you know, because I find men think only of sex. I simplify the form, like here, the ear. I don't have to go into detail, I just sweep it like that, and then I leave it up to your imagination for the detail. The important thing is the form, is the shape. I do scuba diving, and I've seen octopus, and I find them very intelligent and very shy. They hide in the rocks, and then if you keep looking, they take one of the tentacles and they make like this to reach you, you know, and when you come nearer, they back out, you know, it's as if they're playing with you. It's like a game. And I thought they were like dancers, like ballet dancers. So that's why I made them in on one of the tentacles, and then you know, you could turn it, and you could see that I've viewed the spaces between the tentacles, because it's very important to relate the sculpture and the form with the lights and with the space between them. This piece here, it's influenced by the dance Guanadur that's in the village Boulay, where once in summer, once a year, they just dance, couple dancing, and the woman will just flick the legs in the air. I'd love to do it, see it on large scale, because you could even put a fountain here, you know, with water coming out. It adds to the vitality and dynamism of the piece, you know. The water will be dancing with them. So that's hopefully one day. I'm back in Liverpool to work on the 8-meter sculpture. It's a huge piece of work. It might take me a month, it might take me 2 months. There are a lot of people involved, because some do the welding, some do the enlargement, and some pass, you know, the clay, so I can work on. You can't, a big job like this, you can't do it on your own. The pentagram is a method of enlarging the work. You make points on the sculpture, and then from the point you put the smaller part of the pentagram, and then the larger part goes in where it touches. Then you put a small peg of wood. That's how you enlarge it. It's when I touch the sculpture or work on the sculpture, it's very sensuous. You know, it's I feel as if it's like an actor, you know, you have to take the character of the personality you're doing and be in it. So I go inside the sculpture, and I feel the movement, and I feel the texture, and I remember how the figure is. I don't really do a lot of sketches. The sketches are in my memory, and my memory is always working. for me, it's like making love, you know. You get aroused by just feeling the sculpture and putting your hand, you know, when I'm doing the arm, for instance, you know, I really sensually think how the arm is, and as if I'm making love to a human being, you know. If it's the animal, it's like caressing the animal. It's from within, you know. I take the spirit and the emotion goes into it. So that's my love. I'm in love with my sculpture. I went to Africa and I fell in love with Africa, with the Africans and with the nature there, with the freedom, the spirit there. You feel as if you're a butterfly. You wake up in the morning, you know, you find as if you're in a beautiful garden, and you feel like a baby, you know, with no problems, no stress. And this also helped me to have this kind of freedom, you know, in myself to express myself in sculpture with the animals and with my figures. This one is my African influence. You know, the Maasai and the Samburus, they have fantastic figures, and when they reach their puberty, they go naked in the forest, and they smudge their body with mud, so the animals won't smell them. The animals will only come to you if they smell you. So and their connection with the animals is out of this world. So that's why I made this figure in the forest with connection with the stags and the connection with the animals. What inspired me about this piece is finding this coco de mer, which is fantastic. I found it in Africa. And you see, you know, the female figure, you know, it's so smooth and beautiful, and it's very sensuous to the touch, you know. So I find it amazing what nature produces. I've done it here like that, with men giving homage to fertilitas, to the fertility, because if it wasn't for women, nobody would be alive. I can't believe it's finished. I just can't believe it's finished. I'm pleased, you know, that I don't need to do any more to it. Now that the modeling is finished, what we have to do is to paint all the sculpture in silicon rubber. After the paint dries, what we do is we cover it with a sheet of fiberglass, which forms the mold. When the fiberglass is hard, we remove it in pieces. And then as well we take the silicon rubber that forms the imprint of the sculpture. And these molds, we fill them with bronze powder and resin, and that forms the sculpture. I'm relieved, I'm amazed. It's like a dream, but you start with something small and then it becomes big. It's like life. It's one step at a time. That's why I call it achieving the impossible.